The peripheral market is currently navigating a strange and somewhat experimental phase. For the last decade, the singular pursuit of every manufacturer was speed. We chased faster actuation points, lower latency, and higher polling rates until we hit a wall of diminishing returns. We reached a plateau where faster was measured in microseconds that no human nervous system could possibly perceive. Certainly not when you're trying to lead a target at 400 meters in Battlefield. Naturally, when the industry could not sell us faster anymore, they pivoted to smarter. We started seeing keyboards with OLED screens, customizable dials, and increasingly complex software suites designed to take over our PC lighting. Now, we are entering the next logical or perhaps illogical phase, the AI peripheral. The Royal Kludge F99 AI is a prime example of this new frontier. It is a device that attempts to merge a genuinely enthusiast-grade mechanical keyboard with a productivity-focused smart module. It is a product aimed squarely at a very specific demographic, the multitasker. It targets the grinder, the player who lives with one hand on their keyboard and the other hand on their mouse, constantly juggling heated deployment with out-of-game communication, Discord tactical chats, and content creation. But for us, specifically for those of us in the premium shooter space, the requirements are kind of different. We aren't spamming cooldowns in a free-to-play MOBA. We are managing recoil control, coordinating squad movements in Arma Reforger, or pushing objectives in Battlefield 6. The core question we have to answer today is simple. Does baking AI directly into the hardware streamline this intense workflow? Or is it just a gimmick that gets in the way of the mission? To answer this, we have to look past the marketing buzzwords and actually live with the board. We need to see if this smart keyboard actually makes us sharper or if it just drags us down. The F99 AI is a fascinating piece of hardware because it's essentially two products in one chassis, a high-value mechanical keyboard and a cloud-connected input terminal. The foundation is the widely respected F99 platform. This uses a 98% layout, often colloquially referred to as 96%, which packs 100 keys into a footprint that is barely larger than a 10-keyless board. For a tactical shooter player, this is arguably the perfect form factor. You retain the full number pad, which is absolutely non-negotiable for those of us playing complex milsims like Arma Reforger or Ground Branch, where the numpad controls everything from radio freaks to vehicle throttle. Yet, it aggressively compacts the navigation cluster and the function row to kind of reclaim valuable desk real estate. This allows for lower DPI sweeps and higher mouse movements without slamming your mouse to the side of your keyboard while tracking a target. The build quality is surprisingly dense. Weighing in at roughly 1 kilogram, the plastic chassis feels substantial. It utilizes a gasket-like structure with a triple-layer sound dampening system comprised of latex dampener and IXPE switch pad and a thick bottom foam layer. This acoustic engineering is designed to eliminate case ping and provide deep, thocky sound profile out of the box. Under the double-shot PBT keycaps, which feature a comfortable low-profile cherry sculpt, you will find Royal Kludge's custom linear cream switches. These come pre-lubed from the factory and operate over a south-facing RGB PCB, ensuring no interference with the keycaps. Unlike its wireless sibling, this specific model is strictly wired via USB-C. But it compensates for this tether by including an integrated 2-port USB-A hub, allowing you to daisy chain your mouse or headset directly through the board, which is pretty cool. Then there is the engine under the hood. When you press that dedicated AI key, Royal Kludge is not relying on a proprietary script here. Instead, they have integrated a hybrid architecture using DeepSeek and Microsoft Azure. DeepSeek provides the large language models that handles the heavy lifting of natural language processing, powering the reason, creative writing, and text summarization capabilities. Microsoft Azure acts as the secure infrastructure pipeline, routing your voice and text data to the cloud and back with enterprise-grade security and speed. This engine powers a suite of specific utilities, including a voice-to-text system that supports over 60 plus languages at speeds exceeding 300 words per minute. Real-time translation that converts spoken input into foreign text instantly, and a context-aware grammar check that can rewrite paragraphs on the fly. When you look at what the actual community is saying about the F99 AI, you find a very sharp divide. The sentiment is not necessarily good or bad, but rather conflicted, splitting the user base into two distinct camps. On one side, you have the hardware lovers. These are the keyboard enthusiasts and budget-conscious gamers, probably like you, who absolutely adore the F99 platform as a physical object. If you browse the Reddit threads or YouTube comments, the consensus is nearly unanimous that physically this board punches way above its weight class. Users frequently praise the sound profile, noting that it sounds better stock than many boards costing twice as much. The pre-lubed linear cream switches are a particular point of praise here, with many users shocked at how smooth they are without needing manual modification. The 98% layout is also widely celebrated as the sweet spot for productivity in gaming, offering maximum functionality with minimal desk usage. On the other side, you have the AI skeptics. The sentiment regarding the smart features is far more critical, and the community has identified a major flaw in the implementation of the shortcuts. There is a palpable frustrations regarding the AI mode toggle. Users, especially those in the productivity and gaming spaces, are baffled by the decision to disable the standard number pad functionality to enable the AI shortcuts. The phrase "solution in search of a problem" comes up frequently in discussions. Many users feels that if the AI features were mapped to function layers instead of a hard toggle that hijacks the numpad, the reception would be significantly warmer. Furthermore, there is a segment of the community that views the wired-only nature of the AI model as a downgrade compared to the tri-mode wireless standard F99. For users who value a clean, cable-free desk, the AI features are simply not worth the sacrifice of wireless freedom. The general word on the block is that the F99 AI is a stellar keyboard attached to a mediocre smart assistance implementation. The community loves the typing feel and the build quality, but largely ignores the AI assistant in favor of their existing workflows, right? Like Gemini, ChatGPT, etc., treating the board simply as a high-quality wired mechanical keyboard. When we talk about performance, we have to look at it through two lenses: the physical experience of like premium shooter gameplay and the productivity workflow of the grinder. As a pure mechanical keyboard, the F99 AI is an absolute triumph in gaming scenarios. Royal Kludge has engineered the sound profile to perfection. When you're in an open mic in a tactical shooter like Ready or Not or Ground Branch, you do not want your keyboard clacking loudly and drowning out footsteps or comms. The F99 AI is deep, muted, and respectful of that overall soundscape. This is paired with the custom linear cream switches. Since they come pre-lubed from the factory, the action is consistent with almost zero scratchiness. For modern shooters, these linear switches are pretty much ideal. In a game like Battlefield 6 or even Call of Duty, movement is everything. You need to be able to jiggle peek, strafe, and slide cancel with zero resistance. Tactile bumps can sometimes interfere with that rapid oscillation of the movement keys, but these linears are smooth and responsive, allowing for precise micro adjustments when holding an angle. Because the board is wired, the latency is non-existent. It feels snappy, it feels premium, and completely viable for high stakes gameplay. However, the workflow experience is where the design makes a critical error. To access these powerful AI service features like the Q&A or essay writing, you have to toggle the AI mode. When you do this, you lose your number pad. The entire numpad turns into a macro pad for the AI shortcuts. For a tactical shooter player, the numpad is often sacred. In Armored Forger, the numpad is used for adjusting zero, controlling vehicle view distances, or switching radio channels. And Battlefield is often bound to specific vehicle seats or gadget slots. The F99 AI forces you to choose between having a numpad for your game controls or having an AI assistant. You cannot simply have both. This creates a friction in the workflow that is hard to ignore. Compared to simply hitting Alt-Tab and typing into a browser window, the AI toggle feels clunky and slow. That said, the utilities, specifically the voice typing, do not suffer from this because you hold a key to activate them. They function more like a push-to-talk radio. This integration is pretty seamless. Being able to lean back in my chair and dictate a script or a message between rounds without touching the keys is a legitimate luxury that fits perfectly into a grinder's flow. After living with the Royal Kludge F99 AI, the verdict comes down to a distinction between utility and service. The service aspect of this keyboard, the AI assistant that tries to write essays and answers questions, is fundamentally flawed. It is flawed in its execution because it steals your numpad, a critical cluster for tactical shooters, and it is flawed in concept because of redundancy. If you are a premium user invested in indie and AAA titles, you are likely already committed to a superior AI ecosystem. Personally, I'm deeply invested in Google Gemini. Gemini connects to my phone, my PC, my email, my calendar, everything. It knows my entire digital life. Why would I use a limited keyboard-based AI module that only knows what I type into it when I have Gemini that can do all of that, plus many more things to come, and many more things that already is? The keyboard's AI service is an isolated tool trying to compete with integrated platforms, and it loses that fight every time. However, the utility aspect is where this board finds its overall redemption. The hardware level tools, the high quality microphone input, the lightning fast DeepSeek powered transcription, and the instant translation are fantastic. This product is for you if you're a content creator, a writer, or a grinder who wants to speed up your input workflow. The voice to text utility is a game changer if you use it to feed a superior AI platform like Gemini. You're getting a premium feeling, great sounding board with a dedicated tool built in that can genuinely speed up your drafting process. This product is not for you if you are strictly a gamer who just wants a keyboard for Battlefield or Helldivers 2. In that case, save your money and buy the standard wireless RKF99. You can get the same amazing switches, the same build quality, and the same layout, but you gain wireless freedom and lose the unnecessary software tether. Likewise, it is not for you if you live on your numpad for work or gaming macros and expect to use an AI feature simultaneously. The toggle implementation would just drive you insane. I know it's driven me insane. I'm kind of tired of having this board on my desk right now, and I'm ready to move on to the next ones that they send. You know what I mean? Ultimately, the F99 AI is a niche tool. It's not a replacement for your brain or your Google account, but if you use the utilities to feed your existing workflow, it can be a powerful weapon in your arsenal. And with that being stated, that's all the technical aspects of the F99 AI in itself. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to transition into some gameplay with the F99 AI keyboard. So enjoy, and peace and blessings. We'll see you in the next one. shoot him. Code is better. Yeah, that's it. Back trying to run away. Or shot in the head, one of those two. Kill. Alright, let's roll, baby. Oh, grenade!